Hey YouTube, morning. I'd like to tell you about, excuse me, September 11th and what it was like in prison at that time. Well, people who've watched the other videos know that I got set up with the number 3, which is dangerous contraband in Farmington, and got sent to Potosi. And Potosi is a punishment camp, and it's also where they have capital punishment, those scheduled to be executed. So, if you go there for punishment, you start out in the hole. You do 9 months, pretty much off the top. Then it's a step-up thing. They move you to a different wing in a different house, and you get a little bit more freedom, more privileges. And then after a little bit there, you go to the other wing in the house. You got more, and then they move you to a different house until you're out in population. You have all your privileges and stuff. Well, you know, everything they will allow there. So I hadn't been out very long, and it just made it to population. I don't think I'd been in population too long. And I get up one morning, and I turn the TV on, and I turn it on the news, and I see this plane crashing into the World Trade Center. And I thought it was like out of a movie, you know. I thought maybe they were showing a movie clip or something, you know. And so, but I keep watching it. I realize it's news, and you know, my mind's not wrapped around it really, you know, yet. Then the other one hit, and wow. And then they let us out for yard. You know, we can go to the gym in the yard. So when we go to the gym in the non-physical room, that's where they have games and people can play cards. Back then they had video games. You could play video games. And so one of the staff rec workers said, "Hey, another one just crashed into the Pentagon. We're under attack." I'm like, a bunch of us was like, "What? You know, no way." That, sure enough, that's what happened, you know. And so, you know, everybody's just in disbelief and this and that, you know. And I will say this, that most of the prisoners, no matter what their color was against those attacks and wanted America to get revenge, you know. There was a few that wasn't, you know, oh, see, this is what we get for getting into other people's affairs and stuff like this. You know, usually those were the Muslims in the prison saying that. But it was just a shock to all of us too, you know. And I'm actually surprised they didn't have us on lockdown, because, you know, things like that, they wouldn't surprise me in that camp. But anyway, I get transferred. My level gets dropped again to a 4, and I get transferred to Bowling Green, Northeast Correctional Center. And that's in north of St. Louis. And there it was kind of odd, because there we were allowed to have the keys to our room, you know, our cell. And they said they would charge us $100 if we lost it, because they not only got to get another key for us, and they got to change the lock, they got to get a key for your cellie, you know, this and that. Anyway, it wasn't a bad camp, prison, whatever you want to call it, but I didn't really like it too much. But I'm only telling you about being in Bowling Green to tell you this. All of a sudden, they had built this new prison in Licking, South Central Correctional Center, a few years before, and they had level 3s and 4s in it. Well, they were told that the prison was built for level 5s and they had better put level 5s in it. So at Bowling Green, they raised everybody's custody level. Now, if you have been in Bowling Green 2 years or more, you got grandfathered in. And but I had only been there like a year and 3 months, so I didn't get grandfathered in. So all of us that was getting transferred, getting our level raised again, and transferred, we were mad, you know. And even some of the guards were mad because, you know, they was like, you know, these guys didn't do anything. Plus, you're going to get rid of all these guys and bring in new guys that we don't even know. And so the night before I was to get transferred, they had this jerk of a guard. I mean, he was an asshole. And he almost got in a fight with another guard. I mean, this is how much nobody liked him. So I was out front because they was having me clean up some stuff. And because the guy that originally done it was gone. So I was out there cleaning up, and he's out there just antagonizing me. Oh, you're going to level 5 tomorrow. You're going to level 5. How do you feel about that? I asked him politely. I said, could we please not talk about this? I said, I'm not too happy about this. I said it'd be different if I'd done something to get my custody level raised, but I didn't. Well, he stops for a minute or two. He starts in again. And finally I had enough. I said, why don't you just shut the fuck up? He goes, I'll put you in the hole. And I just laughed at him. I said, really? I'm going to a level 5 tomorrow. Put me in a hole. And he just stares at me a minute. He goes, go back to your cell and lock down. And I just laughed and I said, okay. And he was mad. He was steaming. So I guess he told the sergeant something. I was in there telling my cellie about it, and we're laughing about it and everything, you know. And pretty soon here comes a white shirt up there. He was trying not to laugh. He says, so did you tell him to shut up? I said, yeah, because he wouldn't. I said, I asked him politely, and I said, he just kept antagonizing me. He said, well, we all know how he is, you know. He goes, I ain't going to do nothing to you, but he said something to me, I have to come up here and say something to you, you know. He said, so, if he says anything, you know, I gave you a warning. And he tells my cellie, he says, you know, your cellie will be gone tomorrow, but if Peterson, that's the SEAL's name, if Peterson says anything to you, then I came up here and gave him a warning, you know. So he said, okay. So next day, I mean, it was snowing, it was cold, so next day I got transferred to South Central Correctional Center. And in a town called Licking. I know that's funny to a lot of people. It's not really funny to me because that's like 25 miles from my home. And so I was used to the name of the town, but it is funny. It's named after salt licks for cattle. That's what was originally made there, you know. It was these salt licks. I don't think it is anymore, but that's how it got its name. But I didn't like being in level 5 again. But at the same time, I like being close to home. And also a couple guards I knew there. I grew up with them. You know, I didn't ask any special favors from them, but a lot of times they'd let me get away with little shit, you know. But they always act like they didn't know me, you know. I mean, they might say, "Hey, what are you up to, Sidell?" or something like that, but they didn't act like they knew me, you know. And which I was glad, you know. One did for a while until I told him, I said, you know, you're not bringing anything into me. It's nothing personal, but you got a badge on, you know. And he goes, yeah, but we grew up together. I said, look, man, I understand that. I told you it's nothing personal, but I can't have you coming around talking to me like you know me. I said, it's going to be bad with me with these other convicts. You may think I'm snitching or something. I said, it might even be bad for you with your co-workers, you know. So that only lasted like a minute or two, and he stopped, you know. But that's my story for now, for today anyway. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit the subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that notification and share this video. Thank you very much.